Hi everybody. I finally finished the fairy house that I had started like a month ago, and I wanted to make a quick video just so I could share it with you. This is the back. I used all of the ephemera and the paper products are from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Different collections. I used some from Vintage Queen Bee, some from I think it was Enchanted Rose, and then there was also a sheet that I had purchased with woodland creatures on it. And what I'll do is I'll put the link to that in the description box below, just so if you really like what you see, then you can go ahead and check it out. So here's the back, and I'm going to move up close just so you guys can get a better idea of what's going on here, because there's a lot going on. So there's the top. I used a lot of moss, a lot of sticks, a lot of leaves, a lot of flowers going down the back. And then I come over here, and I made a bird bath, and that's one of Debbie's little birds. This is one of the woodland creatures. I just love this guy. Whoops. Sorry, my dog wants to play. I just love this guy. He's so handsome. And then I made a little flower bush. And here is another very regal looking lady standing in her garden. And over here I made a bee skep. And then what I did was I attached one of the bees to a piece of wire so it would look like it was flying. And the other one I attached to the bee skep itself. And then I have 3 mushrooms here that I made from soapstone. And then a berry just standing on top of it. And then you can see I put like little metal butterfly right here. Lots of moss and sticks and a lot of rocks. So now I'll turn it to the side. So here's the side of the project. There's a little window. And then you come up, and then you can just see how I decorated the side. And then I'm going to turn it around this way so we can see the other side. And there's a top window. And another butterfly, lots of flowers. And I'm going to turn it around so you guys can see the inside of the house now. Okay. So there's our first floor. And there's the second floor. And then up at the top here, there's the queen of everything looking over everyone. I just loved her. She just reminded me of a full moon. So I attached her to a wire as well, to make her look like she's kind of floating above the house. So on the first floor, we have, there's a clock, and this is also from one of Debbie's kits, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but I will put all of the links down below. And then there's this guy here. So I think he's a really handsome guy, if I can get his face. So I made him a little perch, and he's just going to kind of sit there. So this is part of that that sheet that I had bought from Debbie. And here's another character from the same sheet. I think she's just beautiful. And then here, I'll move these guys out of the way. And then here I have a little 3-drawer dresser that I had made from Matchboxes. And this is a little lamp that I made at the top. And the drawer's open. And I did use paper from the Vintage Queen Bee to cover this. And the same thing with this. The base is made from papers from the Vintage Queen Bee set. And then here's the canopy bed that I made for them to sleep in. And with this one, I used a lot of driftwood. My daughter and I had gone to the beach this past summer, and we were just walking around picking up anything we could find that interested us. So I grabbed a whole bunch of driftwood, and I also grabbed some beach glass, and I did glue that to the top here. You can kind of see it right there, the amber color. That's beach glass. And some flowers at the top. So then on the first floor, there's some ephemera from the Enchanted Rose, I believe. And I just kind of glued it to the wall. I didn't really have to do anything fancy with it because I think it's beautiful just the way that it looks. However, over here, I made a frame out of the driftwood, and I used the ephemera, and this is definitely from Enchanted Rose. It's one of the journaling cards. And then this little sign here, that's from the sheet that I had purchased with the woodland creatures on it. And it says Le Forêt Magique, so the magic forest. And then I have another character back here. He's a very handsome looking dude standing there with his walking stick. And the table I made from sticks. I used ephemera to cover the top. And then the chairs were made from metal filigrees and wire, and then I glued a flower there just as a cushion for them to sit on. And then on the middle of the table I made a little basket with some flowers in it, and that's an acorn. See, it's just an acorn, and I glued some moss inside of it and then put little white roses on top. And then I have another character here from the sheet set. I think she's just beautiful. I think she's my absolute favorite. I love peacocks though. And then I made them a little sink. So I just used a shell. I used a piece of wire. This is chipboard, and the paper that I covered it with is from Vintage Queen Bee. And then over here, I made a little cradle for the babies. Now they're still in their shells. They haven't quite woken up yet, but they have a nice comfy place where they can rest until they're ready to come out. And this I made from a shawl and some more driftwood, and then I just glued on some leaves and a couple of flowers just to dress it up a little bit. And I think that's it. So that's all my stuff. Now I did make a fireplace to go in the house, but unfortunately today I dropped it, and I was just heartbroken because it had taken me a long time to make. But I dropped it unfortunately, and it broke apart. So I'm going to have to make another one to put in here, and I didn't have time to do that today. But I wanted to make sure that I had this video made so you could see what you know, I guess all the different things you can do with something like this, with this type of a paper kit, because it is only one sheet. However, you can do so many different things with these characters.